As a child, we took most of our family vacations to campgrounds and maybe a few to the beach. We rarely went to the city. However, one vacation in particular, where we were in the city, I was overwhelmed with the immensity and the people and the noise. I was walking with my dad through the city streets in the touristy area when we came across a homeless man. I had never seen a homeless person before, and needless to say, I was stunned. I had no idea whether to look at him or avoid him, to say hello or to move to the other side of the street. With how rarely we go to the city, it must have been the first time my dad had seen a homeless man in years, possibly decades. And so, I stopped and watched for what he would do, because that's what I was going to do. Today's devotional verse is Romans 3:23-24. For all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God, and all are justified freely by His grace through the redemption that came by Jesus Christ. There's a word in here that is so often overlooked, which has the potential to completely transform the way you understand and feel the truth of this scripture. That word is all. For all have sinned, and all are justified by grace. Paul's spending a large portion of this letter to the Romans talking about how the Jews must recognize the value and equality of the Gentiles, that is what's constituting the all here. In the eyes of the Jews, the Gentiles were second class at best. They were ridiculed, cheated, enslaved, ignored, and pushed to the fringes of society throughout the history of the Jewish people. God never intended it to be that way. But humans are humans, and our struggle today is really no different than it was then. Think about the people that we do that to. What terms come to mind? Maybe user, felon, white trash, gangbanger, troubled teen, homeless? We have them all around us. These terms that separate us from the really bad in society. We so callously look on these people we don't even know, and we make judgments on them assuming that they've wasted their potential, squandered their opportunities, as if they don't deserve to be healed, to be restored, to be free from addiction, free from the misery or the loneliness, which we assume they've created for themselves. It's an automatic and almost unconscious comparison with ourselves, where we weigh what we know about them from 10 seconds of observation against everything we know about ourselves. And we see ourselves as the more righteous ones because we seemingly have it all together. We can pat our own backs because we're not as bad as them. This is exactly what the Pharisees did. They walked around assuming they were better than everyone else, throwing their righteous living in the face of the oppressed, the poor, the criminal, diseased, outcast, and Gentiles, leading the Jewish people to despise these groups. And if we don't feel the full weight of what this verse screams at us, that all can be saved, God cares for all people, then you may be on the brink of becoming a modern-day Pharisee. See, we're all commanded to be on mission. That mission is to take the hope and freedom and restoration that Jesus fought for and bring it to all people. There is no one group more deserving of salvation than another. And if we're honest with ourselves, we would become the exact opposite of a Pharisee. We'd look on the faces of people around us and see their potential, their uniqueness, their worth, considering them more highly than ourselves, and we would seek to share His grace with all. Back to the city street and the homeless man. Most people ahead of us tossed some change in the styrofoam cup that he held out, And when my dad got up to him, he just stopped, looked at him and asked, "Are you hungry?" And the man said he was starving. My dad helped the man up, walked him back to the restaurant that we had just finished eating at, told the man, "Order whatever you want." My dad paid the cashier, telling him to give the man the spare change or whatever was left. And I've never forgotten that simple act of grace. My dad demonstrated what this scripture meant. Because we've all sinned, we're all broken. But because of God, we all should give grace to all people. So my challenge to you this week is go out, look for the people that you can show grace to.